Well, good afternoon. My name is Bob. I'm the owner of the collection of these bikes. And as usual, I will normally take a walk around my showroom, show some of the bikes I've collected, and probably, most likely, will end up on Bring a Trailer at some point. I love British bikes. I worked for a BSA Norton Triumph dealership back in the middle 70s as a mechanic. And I've worked for just about every major and minor motorcycle manufacturer as a certified mechanic at various times throughout my early years. Therein lies my interest in all these various types of bikes. Worked for a BMW dealership as well, and so my range of experience is quite broad. I do know a lot of information, but there are certainly more people that know more specific information about bikes than I ever will, since my interest is too broad to know that many details. So I love Italian bikes, but I also love some of the Japanese sport bikes, this being one of them. This is a 1989 Kawasaki ZX7H1, H1 meaning the first year model of a race bike Kawasaki made in 1988. The following year models became R and RR models. One of the noteworthy things about this particular bike that came on the RRs as a later were the intake ducts that come from the front of the fairing into the plenum for the intake. This bike is a rather rare example since it has just about 5,700 miles, original miles on this bike. Pretty rare for a 45-year-old bike to be in the condition that it's in. It does have new tires and a new chain. Now the tires are date-coded 2009. The last time this bike was run was in 2009. It hasn't been started since then. The gas was removed out of the tank and out of the carburetors, and the battery was removed, and it's been in storage in a collector's place that I purchased it from. The paint, I would say, for this age is just immaculate. And I'll show you a few of the flaws that I'm aware of. There's one little nick here. You can see a couple of little ones here. There are none in the tank. There is only one little thing on the side of the fairing. It looks like something scratched one of the decal where the A is on the Kawasaki. It doesn't have any plastic damage at all. It was just the actual decal. And then there is one little crack right here in the fairing. Outside of that, all the plastics on this bike are immaculate. Now, one of the things that this bike had as a detriment to it when it first came out was it was said that the suspension in the back was way too stiff, had a very harsh ride. This bike does have a Fox rear shock. Outside of that, it is a stock bike. You can see that in the photo gallery, but as well as right now, the black chrome on the motor is immaculate. It's in really nice shape. The rims are beautiful. They weren't hacked when tires were installed, as was so common in the earlier years with bikes. So we're going to do a start run on this. This bike hasn't been started in about 15 years. As I said, the gas was drained out. I put gas in it, I put a battery in it, and let's see what happens. I'm not going to try to run it more than that at this moment because it's indoors. The inside will get pretty carbon dioxide up. This does have a full Muzzy exhaust system. As some of you may know, Muzzy was the gentleman who actually took the Kawasaki race team and made it really a famous bike because they were so successful in the race career. He actually built his own bikes out of these at some point, and they too made a lot of horsepower. So you are bidding on a 1989 Kawasaki ZX7H1 in pretty spectacular condition. Good luck on your bidding.